Hello, hello again. This is Dr. Keith with another quick Wellness News Nugget from uh, this time from naturalhealth365.com. This is the week in natural news and our quick Wellness News Nugget. And this time, our article is coming from the again naturalhealth365.com, and it is entitled Six Vitamin C Myths Exposed. Typically, these quick wellness news nuggets go about 5 to 7 minutes. This one may go a little longer, it may not. It's an excellent article. And again, if you don't know what this is about, I'm a naturopathic practitioner, and I do a quick wellness news nugget where I take an article that has come out during the week or sometimes even that day and basically give my commentary on it from a perspective of a natural health practitioner. This is Six Vitamin C Myths Exposed. Vitamin C is actually one of my favorite um, elements, if you will, to help people with their health, be it in food or sometimes in supplement, depending on how it's needed. But let's look at this article. The article starts off by saying vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid, is one of the most talked about and studied vitamins on the planet. Yet, despite all the scientific evidence, we still have too many people confused about its benefits, thanks to many misleading nutritional or so-called nutritional articles. I say it puts nutritional in quotes there. And the author goes on to point out that vitamin C is absolutely essential for cardiovascular and immune system health. And then she cites Dr. Linus Pauling, who was a Nobel Prize winning researcher, and he definitively linked vitamin C with heart health and stressed the importance of sufficient supplementation. And she goes on to say that now, quote, integrative cardiologists, including Matthias Rath, MD, and Thomas E. Levy, MD, JD, are continuing Pauling's life saving work. Unfortunately, though, she says, too many conventionally trained physicians view high dosage vitamin C therapy with skepticism, no matter how impressive the results. Having said that, she says, today we'll discuss on six of the greatest myths surrounding vitamin C. And so the first one she points out is vitamin C deficiency is associated with heart disease, and she makes clear that this is a very important point. And Linus Pauling, again, like I said earlier, and it was also pointed out earlier in the article, he was a Nobel Prize winning researcher with regard to high dosage supplements. And in fact, when I was in school, we had to study orthomolecular nutrition, which is basically his concepts of and the benefit he's seen from high dosage supplements when people who had significant deficiencies. And so she points out here in Linus Pauling's theory, heart disease is actually a manifestation of vitamin C deficiency, and atherosclerosis, with its attendant plaque deposits, is the body's attempt to heal the cracks and arteries caused by the vitamin C shortfall. Supplementation with high dose vitamin C restores heart health in two ways. And basically, this is Linus Pauling's concept. And she goes on to point out how vitamin C, number one, in his theory, scavenges harmful free radicals and that causes oxidative stress while functioning as an important building block for collagen, a protein needed to promote healing, structure, and stability in your arteries. And the article goes on to point out further that since the 1980s, a host of studies have actually helped to confirm Dr. Pauling's theory. There was a paper, as pointed out in this article, published in the Journal of Cardiology and Current Research, and the researchers reported that high dose vitamin C reduces heart attack and stroke by up to 98%. Now, this was a paper published in the Journal of Cardiology and Current Research, and she cites this in this article at Natural Health 365. So here's one benefit, even before we get into the myths. Here's a published paper in the Journal of Cardiology and Current Research that basically establishes or pointed out or made plain the fact that high dose vitamin C can actually help prevent heart attack and stroke by significant, up to 90%. That's very significant. Now the article goes on in to talk about some six of these myths concerning vitamin C. And it starts off by pointing out a book by Dr. Levy, he's a promoter of high dose vitamin C. And the article points out that he had written a book called Primal Panacea. High dosage vitamin C pioneer Dr. Levy, it says, called this statement, and the statement referred here to is there are no studies on vitamin C, which is myth number one. It's pointed out here. And he goes so far in his book, Primal Panacea, to say that this statement, to make such a statement, is actually medical malpractice. And he says it would be understandable if voiced by a mechanic or a stonemason, but not by a physician. Then he goes on to point out, according to this article, how that Dr. Levy points out that a simple PubMed search yields more than 60,000 studies on vitamin C, many of them showing positive effects on human health. So that would be a significant myth if a physician were to blurt out that there are no studies on vitamin C when there are more than 60,000 studies conducted on the vitamin, so-called vitamin. It would be tantamount to medical malpractice to make such a statement, and also to deception. The article is going to point out further how board-certified cardiologist Dr. Levy has written extensively on vitamin C, including a landmark review of 650 peer-reviewed studies on the effect of oxidative stress on vitamin C levels, as well as on the ability of vitamin C to reverse atherosclerosis. So interesting. Then they move on to myth two, and myth two, that there's no evidence that vitamin C works. Again, the article points out how this is absolutely absurd. Dr. Levy again references over 1,200 studies showing beneficial effects, and he points out this only scratches the surface of what is known about vitamin C's therapeutic abilities. And there is a problem with what constitutes a study, the article points out. And then, citing Dr. Levy again, this article goes on to point out how, in order to be acknowledged by the medical community, Dr. Levy points out that a study must be large, randomized, placebo-controlled, and double-blind. At first glance, this sounds reasonable, she says, but are you ready for a shocker, she asks, the author asks in this article. She goes on to point out how Dr. Levy maintains that most prescription drugs currently in use lack this type of rigorous study. So why is vitamin C held to a stricter standard? So this is one of the things of propaganda. Most of the prescription drugs on the market don't follow the same standard, but yet they're pawned off on the people, while at the same time we find that they're saying, well, vitamin C is not going through these steps to be seriously considered as a study, but yet they put these many drugs on the market without going through this the same process. The article goes on to point out how Dr. Levy points out that a group of patients being given IV high dosage vitamin C under closely monitored hospital condition does not count as a study, even if all patients are cured, which is ridiculous. But this is one of the things that is not considered a study. And let's move on down now to myth number 3, because I don't want this to get too long. But it's a very interesting article. And again, if you want to take time to read it, the entire article, reference it. It's at naturalhealth365.com. Myth number 3, vitamin C is unsafe. And again, the article goes on to point out how this is ridiculous as well, because it does appear to be one of the safest substances on earth. For right now, as the article points out, there is no known lethal dose. And it goes on to say, the article says, quote, in fact, natural health experts note that plain water is more toxic than vitamin C. And vitamin C seems to be free of dangerous side effects even at high doses. And then here in this area here, this article is going to say further that the RAF recommendations may call for over 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, and some clinicians routinely use doses of 250,000 milligrams to 300,000 milligrams a day. This is an absolutely whopping amount that is over 3,000 times the RDA recommended amount, yet no serious adverse effects have been reported. Now, of course, these massive amounts of vitamin C would only be given in conditions of someone with serious health issues in general. And so, again, 10,000 a day would not be a problem. 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day is not be a problem at all. But when you get up to mega doses of 250,000, you would typically see those kinds of amounts used with people with severe infections, people with cancer, etc. As this article goes on to point out further, they write that it's worth pointing out that pharmaceutical medications administered in hospitals kill thousands of patients a year. And then they cite a recent Johns Hopkins study which reports that 250,000 people die every year from medical errors, making it the third leading cause of death in the nation, right behind heart disease and cancer. And so again, the article is simply pointing out that there is a double standard. Myth number 4, vitamin C causes kidney stones. It goes on to say this myth is based on a medical fact, but is a myth nonetheless. And the article points out how experts say that vitamin C can, under certain conditions and in certain forms, contribute to oxalate production, which in turn can contribute to kidney stones. For many, the matter was put to rest by a rigorous 14-year study, it says here, of 85,557 women conducted by researchers at prestigious Harvard Medical School, in which the team found no link whatsoever between vitamin C intake and kidney stones. The article says further that vitamin C has been further vindicated by additional studies showing that the nutrient actually lowers the incidence of kidney stones and it does not raise them. Again, that's myth number 4. Myth number five, you can get enough vitamin C through diet. Now, the current RDA for non-smoking adults is a paltry 60 milligrams of vitamin C a day, according to this article, roughly the amount in one small orange. Although this is enough to prevent the serious medical condition known as scurvy, natural health experts decry it as ridiculously low, and I agree with that. 60 milligrams a day, 60 milligrams of vitamin C per day, especially even to fight off colds and things of that nature. Especially given the diet and lack of exercise and stress and whatnot that we have now, you would be greatly advised to take a vitamin C supplement. I actually encourage people to take Lipo C, which is another discussion for another day. But the article goes on to say, of course, more vitamin C is required to combat atherosclerosis and heart disease. In fact, it says that one study showed that it takes 1,500 milligrams per day to prevent or reverse atherosclerosis in 6% or more of the population. This would require consuming over a dozen red peppers and close to 2 dozen oranges, more than most people are willing to eat. And again, this is why I said earlier that vitamin C is indeed, if you have mega doses, would really be necessary if you have some type of disease, if you're trying to prevent or reverse some kind of disease or serious issue. Finally, the myth number 6 says excess amounts of vitamin C are excreted through the urine. It goes on to show how the article goes on to point out how vitamin C proponents say that this is akin to saying that water is excreted in urine, which means that it is unneeded by the body, a clearly misguided belief. And the article goes on to say further, quote, the truth is water performs many life-sustaining functions before being excreted, and the same is true of vitamin C. It is true that vitamin C is water soluble and it is excreted through urine, but not before it confers a host of cardiovascular benefits. So when we take into account these different myths about vitamin C, don't believe them. Vitamin C is one of the greatest supplements, nutrients that you can take, and it probably saves more lives a year than one could imagine. Thank you. This is Dr. Keith Henry. You've been listening to the quick Wellness News Nugget again. Don't forget to join me the next time. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a blessed day.